For a long time, pistol caliber carbines sat in a strange spot, lighter than rifles, softer than shotguns, but rarely taken seriously. Most ran basic blowback designs with heavy bolts and compromises shooters just tolerated. They worked, but the category barely evolved. Then SHOT Show 2026 hit and everything shifted. PCCs stopped imitating rifles and became true purpose-built tools. Engineers focused on real issues: recoil control, compact carry, balance, and tight space handling. Folding stocks turned practical instead of gimmicky. Smarter operating systems replaced brute force, weight dropped, shootability soared, and each model carved out a clear role. What emerged wasn't one trend, it was a whole new class of firearms. From ultra-compact rigs that vanish in a vehicle to precision competition builds, these PCCs proved how far the platform has come. A few might quietly reshape how we view 9 million carbines going forward. The Mimic Firearms Speed 9 really catches your eye the moment you hear about its magazine system, because it solves one of the most annoying problems in PCCs without resorting to long, awkward sticks or heavy drums that throw off balance. Right out of the gate, this gun is built around a proprietary rotating magazine design that's genuinely clever. You get a single compact mag body that holds 2 separate stacks of rounds, and mid-string, you can flip it 180 degrees in a quick, intuitive motion to instantly access the second set of ammunition. That means you're effectively doubling your on-gun capacity while keeping the overall length of the magazine short and the weight distribution balanced. No more dealing with oversized extensions that snag on gear or make the gun front heavy. It's a smart, practical solution that feels like it should have been done years ago. The Speed 9 keeps things super familiar for anyone who already shoots AR platform rifles. You get the same ergonomic grip angle, standard AR-style trigger group, ambidextrous safety, and rear charging handle that most people already know by heart. So there's almost zero learning curve when you pick it up. Under the hood, it runs a straightforward blowback operating system, which keeps the internals simple, reliable, and easy to maintain even after thousands of rounds. Barrel lengths give you flexibility depending on what you're after. Short, 5.5-inch barrels make for a true PDW-style package that disappears into a backpack or vehicle console, while the longer 16-inch options bump up velocity and make it easier to stay compliant in states with stricter rules. The handguard comes with plenty of M-lock slots for lights, lasers, or grips, and the whole gun is finished in a clean, no-nonsense black Cerakote that holds up well to regular use. On the range, recoil is what you'd expect from a classic blowback 9mm PCC, snappy but very manageable, especially with good stance and a decent brace or stock. The flip mag feature shines brightest in high-volume scenarios like 3-gun, PCC matches, or just fun mag dump sessions where every second saved on a reload matters. It's not trying to be the softest shooting or most modular gun in the world, and it doesn't have fancy delayed blowback or roller systems, but that's actually part of its charm. Mimic kept the design honest and focused on delivering a real-world advantage without piling on complexity or cost. Build quality feels solid for the price point, with tight tolerances and no obvious corners cut on the major components. Right now, the base Speed 9 model is landing in the $1,800 range at most retailers, sometimes dipping a little lower during promotions or bundle deals that include a couple of those signature dual-stack mags. For shooters who hate frequent reloads but don't want to carry a brick or spend twice as much on a more exotic platform, this gun hits a sweet spot. It's innovative in exactly the right place, stays user-friendly, and gives you noticeably more staying power in a fight or a stage without feeling like a gimmick. If you're tired of the same old double-stack pistol mag setups and want something that actually changes how you think about capacity on a carbine, the Mimic Speed 9 is definitely worth a close look. The B&TK H9 SD stands out as one of the most thoughtfully engineered suppressed pistol caliber carbines you'll find anywhere right now. Because B&T didn't just slap a suppressor on an existing platform, they built the entire gun from the ground up with quiet operation as the absolute priority. From the very first sketch, the focus was on creating a cohesive, factory-integrated system that avoids all the common headaches you get when you add a can after the fact. No added length throwing off your balance, no extra front weight making the muzzle dip during long strings, and no mismatched threading or gas issues messing with reliability. Instead, the KH9 SD features a specifically ported barrel that vents gas in a controlled way right into the integral suppressor, which is seamlessly tucked inside a full-length handguard, so the overall profile stays surprisingly compact for a suppressed carbine. The internal gas routing is tuned precisely to minimize back pressure, which means the gun cycles smoothly on straightforward blowback mechanics, without that harsh overgassing you sometimes feel on other suppressed setups. That low back pressure also translates to noticeably faster follow-up shots and less fatigue when you're running drills or putting rounds downrange for extended sessions. B&T's signature Swiss precision shines through in every detail. The fit and finish are impeccable. The controls are crisp and intuitive, and the polymer magazines they include feed flawlessly while staying lightweight. If you want even more capacity for range days or competition, you can swap in Suomi-style coffin magazines with a simple adapter, giving you that extra staying power without reinventing the wheel. The weight distribution feels centered and neutral, so the gun sits flat in your hands and doesn't fight you when you're transitioning between targets or shooting from awkward positions. It's not trying to be a do-everything carbine. This is a specialized tool built for low-signature scenarios. Think discrete home defense setups, suppressed training in noise-restricted environments, or tactical applications where staying quiet matters more than raw firepower. In a year when so many companies are chasing louder, flashier trends, the KH9 SD quietly proves that true integration from the factory almost always outperforms aftermarket hacks in terms of balance, consistency, and overall shootability. You get that legendary B&T reliability wrapped in a package that just works right out of the box, with minimal POI, shift even after folding and unfolding, or running hot strings. Of course, that level of refinement comes at a premium. Current street prices typically land in the $3,000 to $4,000 range depending on the exact configuration, barrel length options, and any extras like optics-ready mounts or additional adapters. It's definitely not the budget-friendly choice in the PCC world, but if suppressed performance and Swiss-level execution are what you're after, few guns on the market right now can match what the KH9 SD delivers in such a clean, purpose-driven package. The Kel-Tec Sub-2000 Gen 3 remains one of the most talked about folding PCCs out there. And for good reason, it's still built around that single brilliant core idea of extreme compactness wrapped in a price tag that almost anyone can swing without thinking twice. Right from the original back in the late 90s, this little carbine carved out its niche by letting shooters run the same magazines they already carry in their Glock, SIG, Beretta, or even some Smith & Wesson pistols, turning it into the ultimate trunk gun or backpack companion that shares ammo and mag seamlessly with your everyday carry. What made it explode in popularity wasn't fancy machining or butter-smooth triggers. It was pure practicality, folded in half, and it disappears into a backpack, under a car seat, or in the smallest safe compartment you've got, all while staying legal in most places as a rifle. Over the years, though, shooters kept hitting the same wall. If you wanted to run a red dot, holographic sight, or even a low-power variable optic, you had to yank it off every single time you folded the gun, realign it when you unfolded, and pray your zero held up. That frustration basically defeated the quick deploy spirit the Sub-2000 was born for. Enter the Gen 3, which Kel-Tec finally addressed head-on with a total redesign of the front trunnion and folding hinge assembly. Now the barrel section pivots in a way that clears the optic rail entirely, so your sight stays mounted, stays zeroed, and the gun folds just as small as before, usually down to about 16 inches overall. You get that same quick flip from folded to ready feel without losing your glass. Mechanically, it sticks with the proven straight blowback operation. Simple, reliable, no gas system to clean, no fancy delay rods to wear out. But yeah, that also means you feel the full snap of the recoil impulse, especially with hotter 9mm loads or during rapid strings. The bolt is still pretty heavy to tame blowback forces, so muzzle rise is noticeable compared to delayed blowback or short recoil competitors. And the trigger pull sits in that typical Kel-Tec range, long and a bit gritty, though plenty of aftermarket options exist if you want to smooth it out. On the plus side, the Gen 3 brings better ergonomics with an improved charging handle. a more comfortable grip angle, and M-lock slots on the forend for lights, lasers, or hand stops without needing adapters. Barrel length stays at 16 inches for good velocity out of pistol cartridges, and it accepts standard AR pattern buffer tubes if you ever want to swap stocks, though most folks just rock the factory polymer folder. Build quality feels solid for the price. Polymer heavy, but tough enough for hard use, and the takedown is dead simple for cleaning. Downsides, it's not the softest shooting PCC you'll ever pick up. Modularity is limited compared to full AR-style platforms, and some early Gen 3 units had minor reports of fitment quirks with certain aftermarket parts, though Kel-Tec's customer service usually sorts those fast. Still, at current street prices hovering between $400 and $500, depending on the color, caliber, compatibility, and any bundle deals, it delivers unmatched value for what it promises. A lightweight, packable carbine that bridges the gap between your pistol and a real rifle without breaking the bank. The CMMG Dissent, MkGs, tackles one of the longest-standing headaches in the AR-style PCC world head-on. That stubborn buffer tube that's been holding back true compactness for years. On a standard 5.56 AR, the buffer tube makes perfect sense. It manages recoil and houses the spring. But when you drop down to pistol calibers like 9mm, it becomes dead weight that forces awkward workarounds for folding stocks, short barrels, or clean lines. CMMG said, forget working around it. Let's just eliminate it entirely. The Dissent MkGs uses a fully self-contained radial delayed blowback system tucked completely inside the upper receiver. So there's no protruding buffer tube, no need for a traditional stock tube, and suddenly you've got freedom to slap on a side folding stock that locks up rock solid without sacrificing any reliability or shifting the balance point. That radial delay mechanism is the real star here. It slows the bolt's rearward travel just enough to bleed off energy gradually, instead of letting it slam back like a straight blowback gun, which means noticeably less felt recoil, reduced muzzle flip, and a much smoother, more controllable shooting experience even during rapid strings. Bolt mass drops significantly compared to classic designs, so the gun stays lighter overall. Most configurations come in around 6 to 7 pounds unloaded, and it feels nimble in the hands, almost rifle-like in how flat it shoots despite running pistol ammo. You still get full AR compatibility for grips, triggers, handguards, and charging handles, so it drops right into your existing ecosystem without forcing you to buy a whole new setup. The charging handle is ambidextrous, the safety is reversible, and the mag release is standard AR, making it super intuitive for anyone coming from an AR platform. Barrel lengths run from short 5-inch PDW style options all the way up to 16-inch for better velocity if you're in a state that requires it. And it feeds reliably from a variety of Glock pattern or CMMG's own Banshee mags depending on the variant. Build quality is solid. CMMG machines these in-house with tight tolerances, and the finish holds up well to range abuse. On the downside, you're paying a premium for that innovative engineering. Current street prices typically sit between $1,200 and $1,600, depending on the exact model, barrel length, and whether you go with the factory brace or folding stock setup, which puts it well above budget blowback guns, but still competitive with other high-end delayed blowback PCCs. It's not the cheapest way to get into a compact 9mm carbine, and the delayed system does add a tiny bit more complexity for cleaning compared to dead simple blowback. But for shooters who want a folding, bufferless ARPCC that actually shoots soft and stays controllable without feeling like a toy, the Dissent MkGs delivers in a way few others do right now. It's a purpose-built tool that finally makes the buffer tube feel like yesterday's problem instead of today's compromise. The Ruger PC Carbine continues to stand tall as one of the most practical, no-nonsense pistol caliber carbines you can buy today, and it's easy to see why it's stayed a favorite for so long. What really sets this gun apart right from the start is its ingenious takedown design. With a simple twist of the barrel nut, the whole thing splits into two compact halves that fit easily into a backpack, range bag, or even the trunk of your car, making storage, transport, and deep cleaning dead simple without any tools. On top of that, Ruger gave it true dual magazine compatibility. You can run Glock pattern mags, or Ruger's own SR9/Security 9 magazines, just by swapping a quick, tool-free adapter at the mag. Well, so you're sharing ammo and spares seamlessly with whatever pistol you already carry every day. No proprietary magazines, no extra expense, just real-world flexibility that saves you money and hassle. Mechanically, it's a classic straight blowback system, paired with a relatively heavy bolt that soaks up the energy from 9mm rounds and keeps everything cycling smoothly, even when you're feeding it the cheapest bulk, FMJ, or running hotter plus P defensive loads. Ruger tunes the recoil spring and bolt weight just right. So while it still has that characteristic PCC snap compared to fancier delayed blowback designs, the felt recoil stays very manageable, especially once you shoulder it with the adjustable length of pull stock extended and grip it like one of their classic bolt actions. The ergonomic feel is pure Ruger, familiar, comfortable, and intuitive for anyone who's spent time behind their rifles. Barrel length stays locked at 16. 12 inches, giving you solid velocity out of pistol cartridges while keeping the gun 922 compliant and legal pretty much everywhere. And that threaded muzzle lets you slap on a suppressor, compensator, or brake without a second thought. The forend is loaded with M-LOK slots so you can mount lights, lasers, hand stops, or whatever gear you run. The protected ghost ring sights are crisp and adjustable out of the box, and a full-length Picatinny rail up top welcomes any red dot, holographic sight, or low-power optic you want to drop on. On the range, this thing groups surprisingly tight at defensive and practical distances. Eats just about any ammo you throw at it without drama, and the takedown feature means you can field strip it in seconds for maintenance after a long session. Build-wise, it's a smart mix of rugged polymer and steel where it counts, so it shrugs off drops, range abuse, and rough handling without complaint. The biggest strengths are obvious: unmatched versatility across pistol ecosystems, rock-solid reliability, straightforward operation, and that honest, no-gimmick engineering that just works day in and day out. Street prices right now typically sit between $600 and $750, depending on the finish, color options, or any bundle deals that throw in extra adapters and magazines, which makes it feel like you're getting way more gun than the money suggests. High .995P has carved out its own little corner of the pistol caliber carbine world for years, and it's still doing exactly what it's always done best: deliver a no-frills, tough-as-nails carbine that almost anyone can actually afford. This isn't a gun that's trying to win beauty contests or compete with the lightweight, high-end builds you see from premium manufacturers. Instead, Hay-Point doubles down on what matters to a lot of everyday shooters: raw reliability, dead simple operation, and a price tag that doesn't make you hesitate before pulling the trigger. The 995P sticks with a classic straight blowback system, which means there's no complicated delayed blowback, no roller locks, no fancy gas systems, just a heavy bolt that cycles the action using the energy from the fired round. That simplicity is part of why it's so hard to break. The receiver is made from thick stamped steel, the barrel is hefty, and the whole platform is built like something you could drop off a tailgate and still expect to run. It's not pretty, it's not light, and it's definitely not refined, but it keeps going when other guns might start complaining. You get basic adjustable iron sights that are surprisingly usable once you get them dialed in, a simple push-button magazine release, a manual safety that's easy to find, and that signature high-point grip angle that feels a little old school but works just fine for most people. One of the standout practical features is the ability to mount a red dot or optic directly to the top rail without needing adapters or risers, and the forend has enough real estate for lights, lasers, or a vertical grip if you want to dress it up a bit. The 995P also ships with a sling swivel stud and accepts standard 9mm Glock pattern magazines in most configurations, so feeding it is never a hassle. On the range, it's not going to feel like a scalpel. Recoil is stout because of the blowback design and the relatively heavy bolt, and muzzle rise is noticeable during rapid fire, but it's predictable, and for defensive drills, plinking, or just putting rounds downrange, it does the job without drama. The biggest strength is obviously the price. Right now, the 995P typically street prices between $300 and $380, depending on the finish, and any small package deals, which makes it one of the most accessible centerfire carbines you can buy today. That affordability opens the door for new shooters, budget-conscious folks, or people who just want a reliable truck gun or home defense long gun without spending half a paycheck. On the flip side, the weight sits around 5 to 7 pounds unloaded, so it's not something you're going to carry all day. The trigger is heavy and gritty compared to modern options, and the overall fit and finish are utilitarian at best. Some people love the industrial look, others can't stand it. There's also no quick takedown or easy field stripping like you get on more modular platforms, so cleaning takes a little more effort. Still, High Point has spent decades proving that you don't need exotic materials or cutting-edge engineering to make a gun that runs and keeps running. The 995P earns its number 10 spot on this list because it represents the foundation of the modern PCC market, the honest, affordable, dependable choice that refuses to disappear even as flashier options show up. While other guns chase softer recoil, lighter weight, or competition-level precision, the 995P quietly reminds everyone that there's still a huge group of shooters who just want something that works, doesn't cost a fortune, and will still be running long after the trendy stuff has moved on to the next big thing. The PSA Jakl 9 jumps straight into one of the hottest growing corners of the PCC world right now, blending serious subgun DNA with the kind of familiar AR controls that make it feel like an old friend the moment you pick it up. From the second you shoulder this thing, the layout screams intuitive. The safety, mag release, bolt catch, and charging handle are all right where your hands already expect them to be if you've spent any time behind an AR platform. So, there's basically zero learning curve. The grip angle sits at that classic 25-degree sweet spot. The stock adjusts smoothly, and the overall balance feels natural, whether you're running it suppressed, braced, or with irons. What really sets the Jakl 9 apart is the decision to run CZ Scorpion pattern magazines instead of sticking with standard Glock or SIG pistol mags. Those Scorpion mags are battle-proven tanks, super durable polymer bodies, steel feed lips that rarely bend, and they feed flawlessly even when you're dumping rounds fast at higher capacities like 30 or 35 rounds. By going that route, PSA made it crystal clear this is a purpose-built carbine first, not a half-hearted pistol extension. You're getting dedicated carbine performance without forcing it to play double duty. The monolithic upper receiver is another smart call. It's a single-piece forged design that locks the barrel, handguard, and optic rail into perfect alignment, cutting down on any flex or shift you sometimes see in two-piece builds, which translates to tighter groups and more consistent zero retention, even after rough handling or folding, if you add an aftermarket brace setup. Under the hood, it keeps things straightforward with a simple blowback operating system tuned for 9 mils. So, reliability stays high and parts are easy to source, but you do feel that characteristic PCC snap in recoil compared to delayed or short recoil designs higher up the list. The handguard comes M-lock, ready out of the box with plenty of real estate for lights, lasers, or foregrips. And the threaded barrel accepts standard muzzle devices without drama. On the plus side, this gun delivers excellent ergonomics, rock-solid magazine compatibility in a world where Scorpion mags are everywhere and inexpensive, and a price point that punches way above its weight. Current street prices typically hover right around $650 to $750, depending on the exact configuration, whether you grab the pistol brace version or the SBR, ready lower. That makes it one of the better values in the modern PCC space for someone who wants subgun-inspired handling without dropping 4 figures. On the flip side, the straight blowback means recoil is noticeably sharper than roller-delayed or gas-operated competitors, especially during rapid fire, and while the monolithic upper is rigid, the overall weight sits a bit heavier than some ultralight builds chasing competition speed. Still, for home defense, range fun, or even entry-level competition where you want familiar controls and bomb-proof mags, the Jakl 9 nails that sweet spot of being reliable, affordable, and genuinely enjoyable to shoot without trying to be the flashiest or most exotic thing on the shelf. The H&R DOE 9 really stands out on this list because it doesn't chase the latest tech trends or try to outdo everyone in speed and modularity. Instead, it leans hard into historical authenticity, pulling direct inspiration from the Colt 633 submachine gun that Department of Energy security teams carried back during the Cold War era. Right from the first look, you can feel that throwback vibe, the straight classic magazine profile that sits perfectly vertical like the originals, the fixed carry handle up top that gives it that unmistakable silhouette, and the stripped down, no-nonsense furniture that keeps everything simple and rugged, just like those old DOE guns were built to be. H&R didn't reinvent the wheel here. They recreated it faithfully, down to the overall balance and pointability that made the 633 such a trusted tool for close quarters work in secure facilities. Mechanically, it sticks with a traditional straight blowback operating system, which means you get that familiar sharp, direct recoil impulse and the straightforward reliability that comes with fewer moving parts. No fancy delayed systems, no roller locks, just proven old-school blowback that cycles dependably with standard 9mm ammo. The trade-off is obvious. Mounting modern red dots, scopes, or even basic lights and lasers isn't as plug-and-play as it is on today's AR-style PCCs, because the fixed carry handle and the original-style receiver geometry limit rail space and forward accessory options. You can still add some stuff with aftermarket adapters or low-profile mounts, but it's not seamless, and that's by design. It prioritizes keeping the handling and sight picture as close as possible to what those Cold War operators experienced. What you gain in return is a gun that feels genuinely nostalgic in the hands. The weight sits forward just right for quick shouldering. The controls are basic and intuitive with that classic safety and mag release placement, and the overall ergonomics reward shooters who appreciate old-school point shooting over heavy accessory loads. It's not the softest shooter or the most customizable platform out there, but for anyone who loves military history, retro builds, or just wants something that stands apart from the sea of modern black rifles, the DOE 9mm delivers a unique experience that's hard to find anywhere else in 2026. On the practical side, it's built tough with solid materials that hold up to regular use, and since it uses widely available 9mm magazines, often Glock or Beretta pattern depending on the exact variant, feeding issues are rare once you break it in. Current street prices typically land in the $700 to $900 range, depending on the finish and any small package upgrades, which keeps it surprisingly accessible for a gun that's this faithful to its historical roots. It earns its number 8 spot because it's not trying to win a speed or recoil competition. It's carving out its own niche where historical accuracy, that recognizable old-school feel, and a straightforward, dependable design matter way more than being the most adaptable or cutting-edge PCC on the market. If you're the type of shooter who gets excited about Cold War-era gear, or just wants a PCC that tells a story every time you pick it up, the H&R DOE 9mm is absolutely worth a closer look. Once we get to this point in the list, the operating system really starts to matter more than just the looks or the externals. And that's where the Matador Arms MAT9 shines bright. The Matador Arms MAT9 is purpose-built around a true roller-delayed blowback mechanism. The kind of system you see in classics like the MkGs, but updated and optimized for modern PCC use in 9mm. Instead of letting the bolt slam back right away like a basic blowback gun, the rollers lock into the barrel extension and delay the bolt's unlock until chamber pressure drops enough, which tames that sharp, snappy recoil impulse that so many traditional PCCs are known for. You end up with a much softer, flatter shooting experience. Muzzle rise stays low, follow-up shots come quicker, and the whole gun feels more planted during fast strings, especially when you're dumping mags in competition or running drills. What makes the MAT9 stand out even more is its smart design as a drop-in complete upper receiver rather than a full standalone rifle. You simply slap it onto any mil-spec AR-15 lower you already own, pair it with your favorite trigger, stock, and grip, and suddenly you've upgraded your platform to roller-delayed performance without starting from scratch or spending a fortune on a whole new gun. That modularity is huge. It keeps your build flexible, lets you mix and match parts you love, and saves you money if you're already deep in the AR ecosystem. On the range, the cycling feels incredibly smooth and reliable, with reduced bolt velocity meaning less felt recoil and better control. Plus, It tends to run cooler under sustained fire because the delay spreads out the energy transfer. The handguard is MkG compatible with a full-length top rail for optics, lights, or lasers, and the charging handle is non-reciprocating for added comfort. Build quality is solid, with a machined aluminum upper and a night ride treated barrel that holds up well to high round counts. Of course, no gun is perfect. The roller delayed system adds a bit of complexity compared to dead simple blowback. So, cleaning takes a minute longer. And if you ever need parts, they're not as ubiquitous as standard AR bits yet. Weight is reasonable for what it is, staying light enough to maneuver quickly without feeling like a brick. Current street prices for the MAT9 upper typically land in the $800 to $1,100 range, depending on the barrel length, handguard config, and any included extras like the BCG or charging handle. Definitely a premium step up from budget blowback uppers, but the recoil reduction and shootability make it feel worth every penny for serious shooters who want that MP5-like softness in a customizable package. It earns its number 7 spot because that mechanical edge is real and noticeable. It's not just another gimmick, it's a thoughtful upgrade that keeps full AR modularity while delivering noticeably better recoil management and control than most of the straight blowback crowd out there right now. The CZ Scorpion EVO 3S1 Carbine, and its closely related variants, stands as one of the most polished, factory-fresh pistol-caliber carbines you can get your hands on right now, blending that classic subgun DNA with seriously modern ergonomics in a way that just feels right every time you shoulder it. This thing has been dominating the PCC scene for years because it doesn't chase flashy gimmicks, it refines what works. Running a straightforward blowback operating system chambered in 9 mils, it keeps things reliable and dead simple to maintain. No complex gas systems or fancy delays to fuss with after a long day at the range. What really elevates it is the non-reciprocating charging handle that you can swap side to side for true lefty-friendly use. Fully ambidextrous controls including safety, mag release, and bolt catch, plus a folding and collapsible stock that lets you tuck the gun down the compact for storage or vehicle carry without losing that rock-solid shoulder weld when extended. Barrel options give you real flexibility, shorter around 72 inches for that nimble PDW vibe, perfect for tight spaces and quick handling, or the full 16-inch carbine length that boosts velocity for better downrange performance and keeps things compliant in stricter states. The handguard is packed with M-lock slots and Picatinny sections up top, so slapping on lights, lasers, vertical grips, or your favorite red dot or holographic optic is effortless and stays secure. One of the standout features is that incredibly smooth stock trigger, arguably the best out of the box in the entire PCC category, paired with a super low bore axis that tames muzzle flip to almost nothing, letting you stay flat and fast during rapid strings or mag dumps. Recoil stays snappy from the blowback design, but feels super controllable thanks to smart weight distribution, a low center of gravity, and that balanced overall package, making follow-ups quicker and less fatiguing than many boxier competitors. It feeds flawlessly from those durable polymer magazines, standard 20 or 30 rounders with plenty of aftermarket extensions if you want even more staying power. And the build quality shines through with tough polymer, mated to metal components that eat thousands of rounds without complaint. Modularity is another huge win. Swap stocks, add braces, upgrade triggers, or tweak grips to fit your exact style without breaking the bank. Of course, it's not perfect. Proprietary mags mean you're mostly in the CZ ecosystem, though adapters pop up for other patterns. And while aftermarket support is massive for customizations, the street prices typically hover between $900 and $1,200 for solid carbine configs depending on barrel length, finish, or any bundle extras like faux suppressors or colored stocks, putting it firmly in the mid to upper tier rather than budget territory. Still, for 3-gun PCC divisions, home defense setups, competitive shooting, or just pure range enjoyment where shootability, ergonomics, and consistent performance matter way more than cutting-edge novelty, the Scorpion EVO 3S1 Carbine earns its spot near the top because it's a mature, battle-proven platform that's been honed over time into something that simply delivers without unnecessary complexity or drama. Pick one up and you'll quickly see why so many shooters call it their go-to 9mm carbine. The Grand Power Stribog SP5. A3 stands out in this lineup because it steps confidently beyond the usual 9mm territory into the heavier, more powerful .45 ACP cartridge that demands real engineering to keep the gun controllable, enjoyable, and actually fun to shoot fast. This Slovakian-made pistol caliber carbine from Grand Power takes on the classic big-bore pistol round and handles it in a way that feels far more refined than most people expect from a compact platform. The 45 ACP generates significantly more energy and force during the firing cycle than 9mm, which can easily turn a basic blowback carbine into something that kicks hard, flips the muzzle up, and makes follow-up shots slow and sloppy. To solve that problem without resorting to an excessively heavy bolt or making the entire gun feel like a boat anchor, the SP45A3 uses a proven roller-delayed blowback operating system. This mechanism employs rollers that lock the bolt in place for a brief moment, delaying its rearward travel until chamber pressure has dropped considerably. That delay spreads the recoil impulse out into a smoother, more linear push instead of the sharp, jarring slam you get with straight blowback designs. The result is a compact carbine that stays remarkably stable during rapid strings, keeps muzzle rise surprisingly low, and lets you stay on target much more easily than the cartridge's reputation would suggest. The gun features an 8-inch threaded barrel that makes it suppressor ready right out of the box, a non-reciprocating charging handle so your support hand stays steady, fully ambidextrous controls that work naturally for both left and right-handed shooters, and plenty of real estate for accessories with a full-length Picatinny top rail plus M-lock slots on the handguard sides and bottom. It feeds from reliable 20-round polymer magazines, and the overall package stays relatively light, typically around 5 to 6 pounds, depending on whether you run a folding brace, stock, or bare receiver, making it practical for vehicle storage, home defense, or range days. The roller-delayed system is the star here, bringing a level of refinement and shootability to 45 ACP that's rare in the PCC world, and makes this platform feel more like a premium, purpose-built tool than a budget compromise. On the positive side, the recoil management is genuinely impressive for the power it's handling. The gun cycles reliably with a wide range of factory and hand-loaded ammo, and the build quality is solid with an aluminum upper and tough polymer lower that strike a nice balance between durability and weight. On the downside, it costs more than basic 9mm blowback carbines. .45 ACP ammo is noticeably more expensive and less common than 9mm, and the higher price means it's not the best choice if you're just looking for a cheap plinker or high round count trainer. Current street prices for the SP45 A3 usually fall in the $1,400 to $1,600 range depending on the exact configuration, brace or stock choice, and where you buy it, which reflects the advanced roller-delayed technology and the premium handling it delivers without pushing into ultra-luxury territory. It earns its high placement on this list because of that focused engineering, showing exactly how the right delayed blowback system can make a bigger, harder-hitting caliber genuinely practical and controllable in a compact PCC format without sacrificing comfort or speed. The Nemo Arms Mongoose stands out right away because it ditches the usual straight blowback or delayed blowback setups that dominate most PCCs, and instead goes with a true short recoil operating system, the kind you see in classic Browning-style handguns, where the barrel and bolt move together for a short distance before unlocking and separating. That simple but clever mechanical timing lets pressure drop safely in the chamber, while spreading out the energy transfer through the gun, cutting down on the heavy, abrupt bolt slam you get in traditional blowback designs. The result is noticeably softer, felt recoil, way less muzzle rise, and faster settling between shots, making rapid fire feel controlled and almost pistol-like even though you're running a carbine-length platform. Built super compact with a 8-inch threaded barrel that's PQ nitrided for durability and comes with a built-in front cap, compensator to redirect gases right at the muzzle. For extra muzzle control, it weighs in at just around 3.6 pounds without the brace or about 4.3 pounds with the side folding brace extended. folding down to under 14 inches for easy storage or vehicle carry. It uses familiar AR pattern controls that are fully ambidextrous, including safety, mag release, and non-reciprocating charging handle, plus a top Picatinny rail and M-lock slots for optics, lights, or whatever gear you'd like to add. Magazines are CZ, Scorpion EVO pattern, specifically tuned for reliable feeding with Magpul's PMAGs and 35-round capacity, keeping things practical without needing exotic mags. The design shines for competition where quick follow-ups matter, home defense setups that need to be lightweight and low signature, or just plinking sessions where you want something fun and easy to handle all day without beating you up. On the plus side, that short recoil system delivers one of the smoothest, most controllable shooting experiences in the PCC world, especially for a gun this light and tiny. And the premium build quality from Nemo shows in the fit, finish, and reliability once it's broken in. Drawbacks include the higher price tag. Current street prices hover around $2,400 to $2,700 depending on the config and dealer. And some folks note the folding brace can feel a bit stiff to deploy, or that suppressor compatibility is picky without their dedicated, can due to the short barrel and gas dynamics. Still, it earns its number 4 spot, because it proves there's a smarter, less common path to taming recoil in this category. Precise mechanical timing over brute mass or added complexity. Opening doors for high-performance builds that feel more like an extension of your handgun skills than a compromise carbine. If you're after something that shoots flatter and softer than the blowback crowd while staying ultra-portable, the Mongoose quietly changes how you think about what a top-tier 9mm PCC can really do. The ZF56 stands out right away because it takes a proven roller-delayed blowback operating system, the same kind of smart delay mechanism you see in classics like the Heckler and Koch designs, and wraps it in a thoroughly modern package that feels right at home in 2026. Instead of trapping you in some outdated, rigid subgun layout with limited rail space and awkward controls, Zenith Firearms gave the ZF56 full-length M-Low-K handguards, a continuous top Picatinny rail for optics, ambidextrous charging handles, and a safety selector that drops right into place for AR-trained shooters. The whole thing balances beautifully, with weight distributed, so it doesn't feel nose-heavy even when you slap on a suppressor or a longer barrel. What really sets this platform apart is its forward-thinking design philosophy. The core receiver and action are engineered from the ground up to handle a wide range of cartridges without major retooling. Right now, the initial production models are chambered in 5.56 NATO and 300 blackout for rifle caliber performance. But the architecture is clearly built to accept pistol caliber conversions, including reliable 9mm feeding, through simple barrel and magazine well swaps that keep the same roller-delayed goodness intact. That scalability turns the ZF56 into more than just another PCC. It becomes a true multi-role system, where you can configure it for home defense with a short 9mm barrel and compact stock, shift to suppressed, 300 BLK for quiet work, or run full-length rifle setups for range days and competitions. The roller delay itself shines here by keeping bolt velocity controlled, cutting felt recoil dramatically compared to straight blowback guns, and reducing wear on parts, so reliability stays high even during extended rapid fire. On the plus side, you get that smooth cycling, excellent accuracy potential thanks to the free-floated barrel options and the kind of modularity that lets you personalize it endlessly with aftermarket stocks, grips, and muzzle devices. Drawbacks? It's not the lightest or most compact PCC out there. Expect something in the 6.5 to 7.5 pound range depending on configuration. So if you're after an ultra-concealable truck gun, this might feel a bit substantial. It also carries a premium price tag, reflecting the Swiss-inspired engineering and build quality. Current street prices typically run between $2,200 and $2,800 for the base rifle caliber models, with pistol caliber conversion kits adding a few hundred more once they hit full production later this year. Still, for shooters who want one platform that can evolve with their needs instead of buying separate guns for different roles, the ZF56 delivers exceptional long-term value and mechanical refinement that puts it in rare company among today's PCC-capable firearms. That versatility and thoughtful execution are exactly why it earns the number 3 spot on this list. It's not trying to be the smallest or cheapest, but it offers a level of future-proof adaptability and shootability that very few others can touch right now. The Century Arms AP5 stands as the undisputed gold standard for roller-delayed blowback performance in the affordable pistol-caliber carbine world, delivering that legendary HK-style smoothness and control without forcing you to drop 5 figures on an original SP5 or genuine German MP5 clone. This semi-auto civilian tribute to the iconic MP5 platform has been winning hearts since it hit the market, and for good reason. It brings true roller-delayed blowback technology into reach for everyday shooters who crave that buttery recoil impulse and lightning-fast follow-up shots. Instead of slamming back like a traditional straight blowback gun, the rollers lock into the barrel extension and delay bolt unlock just long enough for chamber pressure to drop safely, spreading out the energy so muzzle rise stays almost non-existent. The gun stays flat during rapid strings, and you can dump a magazine while keeping everything on target with minimal effort. That classic delayed system is the real magic here. It turns snappy 9mm into something that feels almost rifle-like in controllability, especially when you're running drills, competing in PCC divisions, or just enjoying a long session at the range. The AP5 keeps the compact vibe with an 8.9-inch barrel threaded with the signature tri-lug mount, making suppressor swaps effortless and keeping the overall package nimble for vehicle storage, home defense setups, or close quarters work without feeling like a stubby toy. You get that unmistakable MP5 silhouette, slim handguard, vertical foregrip compatibility, paddle-style magazine release that becomes second nature after a few mags, fully ambidextrous safety selector, and a non-reciprocating charging handle that stays out of your way during firing. It feeds reliably from the battle-proven MP5 pattern magazines, steel originals, polymer aftermarket, or the common 30-rounders. And the top Picatinny rail lets you slap on any red dot, holographic sight, or low-power optic without drama. Weighing in around 6 to 7 pounds unloaded, the balance feels centered and natural, rewarding point-shooting instincts while still playing nice with modern accessories. On the upside, the recoil management is exceptional for the price. Reliability is rock solid even when running thousands of rounds of bulk ammo or neglected cleaning, and the whole platform exudes that timeless HKDNA that just works. Quiet when suppressed, controllable under speed, and built tough enough to handle real-world abuse. Street prices right now typically land between $1,200 and $1,600, depending on the exact variant. Whether you grab the standard AP5 Carbine, the shorter AP5P pistol configuration with brace, or one with factory upgrades like enhanced triggers or furniture, making it one of the most accessible ways to experience premium delayed blowback performance without breaking the bank. Of course, no gun is perfect. If you're coming straight from an AR ecosystem, the paddle mag release and hook-style charging handle can feel foreign at first, and take a range trip or two to master. Aftermarket support exists but isn't as vast or inexpensive as full AR platforms, and swapping stocks or grips often requires adapters rather than drop-in compatibility. The Angstadt Arms MDP9 claims the #1 spot on this list, and after seeing how it brings everything together, it's easy to understand why. It's one of those rare PCCs that manages to nail multiple tough goals without major trade-offs. Right off the bat, this thing runs a proven roller-delayed blowback operating system, which is a big departure from the heavy bolt straight blowback setups that dominate most 9mm carbines. By using rollers to delay the bolt's rearward movement until chamber pressure drops safely, it cuts way down on felt recoil and muzzle rise, making the gun shoot incredibly flat and soft for rapid follow-ups. What really sets it apart, though, is ditching the buffer tube entirely for a true bufferless design, so the whole platform stays ultra-compact at just around 14 inches overall with a 5.85-inch chrome moly barrel that's threaded for easy suppressor or muzzle device swaps, often coming with a removable 3-lug adapter out of the box for quick can attachment. Weighing in at only about 3.7 pounds unloaded, it's feather-light compared to many competitors, yet it holds excellent balance in hand without needing an overly massive bolt to tame the cycle. That low weight and smooth action make it feel more like a precision tool than a budget blaster, especially when you're running strings downrange. It feeds reliably from standard Glock double-stack magazines. 17 rounders come included, and it happily accepts higher capacity ones too, with last round bolt hold open and an extended mag release for fast, intuitive reloads. The Gen 2 updates focused heavily on real-world reliability. Tighter tolerances, refined internal geometry for consistent cycling, even under dirty conditions, or with various ammo types, and smoother overall function to iron out any early quirks from the original without chasing flashy add-ons. You get AR-15 style ergonomics with ambidextrous controls like a Radian Talon safety, compatibility with most aftermarket 9mm PCC triggers, and options and finishes like black anodized, Magpul, FDE Cerakote, or tactical gray to match your setup. On the plus side, the roller delayed system means less gas blowback when suppressed, lower port pop, and just a more controlled shooting experience overall, perfect for home defense, vehicle carry, or competition where quick, accurate shots matter. The downside? It's definitely on the premium side of the PCC world, with current street prices typically landing around $1,995 to $2,175, depending on the exact configuration, color, and retailer deals. Sometimes dipping lower on sales, but still a serious investment compared to basic blowback options. Still, for shooters who want a compact, soft-shooting, Glock mag-compatible platform that feels refined and purpose-built rather than compromised, the MDP9 Gen 2 delivers in a way few others do right now. It doesn't just check boxes. It combines compactness, low recoil, reliability tweaks, and modern handling into something that genuinely stands out as the top performer, after stacking it up against everything else we've covered. After looking at all 15 of these platforms, the real takeaway isn't about crowning one single best PCC. What stands out is how much the category has diversified. These guns no longer feel like slight variations on the same theme. Each one reflects a different set of priorities, shaped by how people actually store, carry, and shoot their gear. That shift changes the whole conversation. Instead of asking which PCC is objectively the best, the smarter question is which one actually fits the way you run your kit and your environment. Some reward simplicity, others reward refinement, and a few go all in on specialization. None of those approaches cancel each other out. They just serve different shooters. Think about which of these lines up with your habits and which ones fall short for you. Drop a comment with your personal pick, or call out one you'd pass on completely and tell me why. Those real-world takes are where the best conversations start. Thanks for hanging out and digging into this with me. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.